Welcome to part 4 of the series. Let's begin. We left off at this page here, getting free of desire. The main message was that along the journey of getting free of desire, you will encounter a moment where you will be very, very high. It will be blissful. And in that exact same moment, your ego will come around and pat you on the shoulder, saying, "Pretty good. Look at how holy you're becoming." The story that resonates with this is that of the author living with his guru, and he had to take care of some papers in the city. So he left his guru and entered the city. Entering the city dressed in all white, he looked like a holy man. And in that part of India where he was, holy men were very respected, are respected. He did his errands and decided to visit a restaurant. And during his stay with the guru, he kept a very holy diet. And in the restaurant, he ordered food that were within this holy diet. At the end of the meal, the workers of the restaurant handed him 2 biscuits. These biscuits were not part of his holy diet. He knew this. And so, what he did was ever so nonchalant. He actually very carefully scooted the biscuits, off the table into his bag, all looking very holy at the same time. He ate the biscuits outside the restaurant. So, out of sight. When he returned to his guru, which was something like more than an 8-hour train ride, when he got to his guru and went for his feet, the guru looked at him and said, "Did you like the biscuits?" So that is what this page is referring to. You may think that you've reached it, the moment, maybe the nirvana state or what have you. But realize that just thinking that you have reached it is actually your ego patting you on the back. And you fall again back into the trap of desire. For wanting to appear holy, it is a desire in itself. Another paradox. That's one of the traps. In fact, the higher you get, the harder you fall each time. It's those fierce lions guarding the inner gates. All this stuff happens when you are excreting yourself from this web of desire, which is your ego, which is your cognitive framework of the universe. It's all the same thing. And this extrication, believe me, doesn't happen without an internal struggle. This is called tapasya, straightening by fire. If a man gives way to all his desires or panders to them, there will no inner struggle, in him no friction, no fire. But if, for the sake of attaining a definite aim, he struggles with the desires that hinder him, he will then create a fire which will gradually transform his inner world into a single whole. Opensky, In Search of the Miraculous. The wanting to appear holy, the wanting to be holy, the want in general is one of the traps. And the more high you get from this want, the harder you will fall. I've seen this with my psychedelic use. I would try everything possible, everything mentally and physically possible to increase the high, or make sure I get the best high. All futile and all to no avail. It only made me fall much, much harder into, well, back to reality. Again, if this is the first video you've seen, feel free to pause the video at any moment and look upon the pages yourself. Faith. Had ye but faith, you could move mountains, said Jesus. And that is literally true. The Bible is not a metaphor. It's not a story made up to teach us how to be moral beings. It's a straight message of how it is when man lives in the Spirit. And the Spirit is right inside. The way to get into the Spirit is not a lot of hocus pocus. It's a very simple, methodical, mechanical set of steps. But they're only available to him who can hear. Let those who have ears hear. Teach not him who does not want to know. The whole game is based on faith. The Bible is many things. Here Richard states that it's not a metaphor. I will counter this and say it can be a metaphor. It's not a story to teach us how to be moral beings. It can be, because I believe in infinity. I believe anything can happen. But Richard's message is not this. Richard's message is a straight message of how it is. When you strip the book of its flesh and skin, you see the bones, the core of its meaning. But the flesh and skin must be stripped first. The Spirit is right inside. The way to get into the Spirit is not a lot of hocus pocus. People think spirituality, even though I don't like to use that word, is about magic. There's nothing magical about the journey that you're starting on. Absolutely not. There's nothing magical about UFOs. There's nothing magical about trans-dimensional travel. There's nothing magical about astral projection. It's a lot of methodical, mechanical set of steps that can be learned and utilized in your journey. And this part here at the end is very important. but they're only available to him who can hear. You cannot hear if you live within time and space, if you live in this paradoxical world only. You have to live within the heart cave, the vantage point. From that vantage point, you are able to hear. And let those who have ears hear. So if you do hear these things, beautiful. But do not teach those who do not want to know. This cannot be forced. Any lesson, any new viewpoint of reality that you want to teach someone who's just not available emotionally, mentally, willingly able to hear you out, it won't work if they live not in the heart cave. The whole game is based on faith. Without them being inside the heart cave, they will not hear you. They will hear nonsense. They will hear the crazy person. They will think you're insane. But that's the world we live in, and that's okay. Because you have faith. I'm not saying be silent and don't speak upon these things, but just choose wisely on who you choose to talk to it about. This is why I'm making these videos of interpretation. It's a choice to click on them, and it's a choice to go through them completely. Because I now have stopped trying to teach people that don't ask for lessons. I have stopped trying to advise people that don't ask for advice. I do mean well, but that forcefulness that I've had has only hurt me more and has taken me away from faith. So I give these interpretations as a gift for people that want to hear, who can hear, and that want to know. What you may not understand is the whole game you have been playing is also based on faith. You have had faith in the rational mind. We are living in a society which is a temple dedicated to the rational man. Even though the first commandment says, I am the Lord thy God, thou shalt have no other gods before me. Even though that has been said, and even though we repeat it, we still worship the rational mind and its product. We worship our own sense data. It's only when we see the assumptions that we've already been functioning on that we can start to extricate ourselves. We have got to have heard the first message before any of the keys open anything. You don't even know there are doors until you have heard the first message. Georges I. Gerd, GF. A Westerner who went on this hired trip, or at least on a large part of the trip, said, You don't seem to understand. You are in prison. If you are to get out of prison, the first thing you must realize is you are in prison. If you think you're free, you can't escape. This is talking about the quote-unquote matrix that we live in at the moment, the rational mind. This is the severed connection world that we live in, the Western world, which is slowly fading away, but not for everybody. But there are those that are not aware that the strictly rational mind is a prison. Let's take science, for instance. It's completely rational to believe in the Big Bang. I'm not saying the Big Bang didn't happen. But what I will say is that it is quite absurd to completely believe it without there being any full proof. Yeah? I understand that, of course, we should listen to the scientists. But I also understand that they have been telling this story, the same old story, and no one's happy with it. It keeps us in a box to believe the universe sprang from nothing. It's a perfect way to not believing anything, to believing that only the material exists. And that's very dangerous. Useful for conquering, but very dangerous for longevity of the species. And none of this can be explained to the person that believes that they are free in this matrix. You have to, in a way, and this is where creativity comes in, you have to find the creativity to make someone else understand that they are in prison. They're physically imprisoned by the borders and walls that we put up. We call them countries. These things don't really exist. They're lines on a map, and they create separation and war and hate. Not for everybody, but for those that are less educated. Teach them that they're in prison, and you will help them. Excuse me, someone was at the door. So sorry for that. Where was I? Yes, there takes a certain amount of creativity to nonchalantly steer someone's mind towards the idea that they are in prison. Not for a bad reason, but only to help them escape. Because if they don't know that they are in prison, they will never escape. And I do apologize for the notifications that you hear in the background. If anything, I take it as confirmation that this is not AI. This is a real person, this is me, this is my voice. And I know it would be greatly appreciated, especially in the times that we're heading in at the moment. What calming the mind is all about, what meditation is for, is to cool you out so you remember. So you see how it all is. Try sitting around when you're full of self-pity. You sit down in front of your puja table and you take a picture of Meher Baba, and he's smiling at you like he's the other Mark's brother, and he's saying, "Let me help you. Oh, I wish you would, Meher Baba." Wow, dig that self-pity. Isn't that exquisite? It's so hard. Full bloom, what an extraordinary color it must be. A new brand of self-pity, a particularly fragrant variety. I just really want to smell that one, to sit and smell it forever. So long. Such a good one. I mean, I wish I could have time to groove with you, but I've got to get on with life. I have important things to do today. All right, Baba. I'll sit with you for 1 minute, okay? Here we are. You've got 1 minute. Do your thing. 40 seconds left. Here he paints a picture of the anxious mind attempting to meditate. Sadhana. You've got to be quiet inside to do that kind of photography. It's very easy to photograph inanimate objects like other people, but turn the lens right in on the very stuff you're hiding in. Shoot the camera this way. Very powerful stuff. So all you can do all the time is to cool myself out. That's all I'm doing. I do nothing but sadhana. If somebody says, "What do you do, man?" I say, "I do sadhana." Sure, but don't you lecture? Sure, lecturing happens, but I'm doing my sadhana. This trip is helping me get free of my ego. Because if I get free of my ego, we all get free of our ego. Because that's the way the trip works. Because we're all the same being. And that's the problem. We can only move as fast as we all can move. You can hear this message only as purely as I am pure. That's the way it boils down. I can resonate with you in the highest place I am. I can do nothing for you but work on myself. You can do nothing for me but work on yourself. I like this page here. I had somebody ask me yesterday, "Well, man, if I can create my own reality, how come I can't see this person right now?" And he was talking about a fictional person. Some kind of fictional animal. He said to me, "I'm envisioning this. Why is it not popping up in front of me?" I told him, "You are, but also your neighbor is envisioning something, and the neighbor next to him is, and I'm envisioning something, and we're clearly not all on the same page. And until everybody on the planet Earth is on the same page, instant manifestation is just not possible. Because after all, you're not alone in this game. It's everybody. Everybody at the same time is manifesting their reality. And this is why manifestation takes time. It takes a lot of work and a lot of patience to understand this. It takes a lot of compassion, unbearable compassion and forgiveness for everyone, because they know not what they do. They know not what they spring into existence. Some may say, if there's a God, why do bad things happen? Because everyone is a God, and some wish for bad things to happen. No one is alone here, but yet all of us are one thing. So until we all get on the same page, we have work to do. I can do nothing for you but work on myself. You can do nothing for me but work on yourself. You cannot force this state of being onto someone. You can work on yourself, getting closer to the state of being of unbearable compassion from the heart cave, and that in itself will work for them as too. This is how it works. This is why there's so much frustration. This is why it's easy to dismiss all of this, all of these kinds of conversations. Oh, I'm going to do good things for my child. Baloney. That's all you go. Just work on yourself. And every time you work on yourself, you get calmer, you hear more, you sense more, you are more. You're more present. What are you offering the child? Not a set of social roles passing in the night. You're offering a child here and nowness, the treasure of consciousness, the treasure of awareness. If you don't help, other beings cut through the illusion. Because you're through the illusion. What else? What else is there? What are you doing? Doing more of the dance within the dance? Are we always going to meet on the stage? Don't we ever take off the costumes? That's what I felt as a child. We are always on the stage. I'm a good child. That's what I am. In our costumes, I know how to play. I've been that good child role for years. I know how to do it. Don't talk back. Go to bed early. Don't get on your knees. Don't get your knees dirty, excuse me. Eat all the food on your plate. I'm a master at that game. Is anybody home? Hello, I'm home. Is anybody home? Sure, I'll have some food. If I give you the external things, I'm a good parent. So, I am not a parent. I have no children of my own, but I have been a child. We may think that offering the kid everything possible, material-wise, is a good thing. Yes, it is important to take care of your child, make sure they're safe and all of that. But we need to offer them love and we need to educate them. They need to have emotional education, emotional courage. You can only teach them this if you work on yourself. Do not be so fixated on providing good things for the kid. Of course, go to work and get money and make sure the kid has a roof, etc., etc. But those things come when you work on yourself and be in the here and now. You will offer them nowness. The good things are that comes after working on yourself. When you provide good things without working on yourself, the child will be subjugated to the illusion of the world that we live in. Other things are going to come in and take control of their outcome. And we all know this with spoiled children. They become spoiled adults. You see them everywhere. They have a lack of respect. Why? Well, because their parents did not work on themselves. They were not calm. They had no sense. They could not hear the inner heart cave. They were not present, although they were there. The children see this. The bottom page is referring to the stage that we play, the costumes, the lies that we do throughout the day, being a good child, meaning going to work, doing the 40-year thing, getting the pension, yada, 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 getting retired, all that good stuff. It's good stuff. You're taking care of yourself. You're taking care of your family. You're doing good things for the family. But have you worked on yourself? Has that child felt you, or has that child felt the things that are good? In my own experience, I am fortunate to have a wonderful family that is taking care of me through and through. But instead of asking, how do you feel today? How did you feel today? Let's talk about your emotions. How do you feel about this? How do you feel about that? The main questions that I get from family members are, what things have been happening? How's the job? Where's the money? Okay, let's work on the money. Nothing about the nowness. Of course, they don't see that this hurts. This is not their fault. But it is happening. And I'm one of the lucky ones. They show great love. Some are not so lucky. They show resentment. Sometimes they don't show anything. Many parents that don't show anything. Many parents that are not there at all. No oneness, no working on themselves, no things. But this is happening. Again, I give you the external things. I'm a good parent. Baloney. Of course, you should always take care of your children, but never forget that before we die, which all of us will die, what we're really going to want is love and the sense of being the here and now. We can teach our children this from the get-go, but it will take the work on yourself. Do this first, and everything else will follow. Everything else will fall into place very, very nicely. You and I can always starve together if we're backstage in the here and now. If we're not in the here and now, no matter how much food we put in our bellies, it's never going to be enough. And that's the feeling of the Western man. It's not enough. He's got it all going on. As fast as he can shovel it, he's got every sensual gratification he can possibly desire, and it's not enough because there is no here and now-ness about it. Here and now is the doorway to all that energy, because if you're truthfully here and now, there's no more you. That's the way it works. Excuse me. Did you ever go to the movies and get so caught up in that movie that you forgot who you were? And then the lights came on and you wondered, where am I? What's going on? Oh, right, it's a movie. Well, what you've got to do is create in yourself an absolutely calm center where it's always right here and now. It is just getting into the tub. Light, it is just isness. Eating, going to the toilet, getting into bed, talking, running down the street, up the stairs. Just the isness. And I think this set speaks for itself. When you meet a being who is centered, you always know it. You always feel a kind of calm emanation It always touches you in that place where you feel calm. But you can't hustle it. You can't make believe you're calm when you're not. It never works. Everybody knows, you know it's horrible. You must center. Find that place inside yourself. You're doing it from that place. And whatever your dance is, always right in here, right in your Hridayam. Always from the heart cave. The top page refers to those vibes that everyone likes to use now. The vibes that you feel from a person who is actually centered. It's very contagious. But don't let it do not fall into being overly calm about it. You cannot fake it. The subtle mother. And every time you step back one step from your own melodrama, the cosmic humor gets higher and higher. The absurdity of it all, the extreme beauty of it all. The Divine Mother, which is nature, which is you, which is all of this, which is the whole physical plane. A very beautiful depiction here. All you can do is honor her and love her. And she becomes so exquisite, and she's pulling you. And that's really something. Because if you say, wow, lady, I know who you are. You're the keeper of this reform school. That's attachment. Can't have her. Can't reject her. Can't live with her. Can't put her away. Just honor and honor her, Divine Mother. You've got to worship her. I myself fall victim to my own attachments. Even interpreting this book, every single time I pull out a sentence from myself to interpret what I read, I need to remind myself internally from my heart cave that I truly don't know what I'm talking about. I need to understand that I don't have all the answers. I am just trying to reach as many people as I can and get them to see something. And hope, or maybe faith, have faith, that it will steer some, hopefully all, in the direction of the journey of the self and non-self. Because if I do truly believe that I know exactly, completely what I'm talking about, well, that's attachment. And that's not how it works. All I am trying to do is honor her. That's what I'm trying to do here. This is why I show you this book. You've got to worship her, Mother Nature. She's the veil. Sorry for the camera. She's the veil, and at some point, she is Sita. Sita stands aside on the jungle path so Ram's brother can see Ram. Ram is God. Sita is Ram's wife. And Laksaman is Ram's brother. And they're going along a jungle path. And it is God who is Ram, and Sita behind him, and then the brother Laksaman. And Laksaman can't see his brother who is God because of this woman. Sita, who walks between them, just moves just a little to one side. And every now and then, she, Sita, who walks between them, just moves just a little to one side, so Laksaman can see God. If you reached this far into the video, again, thank yourself for being a student, for entering and beginning the journey. I know for some, this book may seem very simple, but understand that for others, it is very, very enlightening. It's enlightening for all levels. And as for me, this is a wonderful reminder, because that's all it really is. It's a reminder. It's meant for us to remember.